Hello traders, welcome to the Monday forecast for the beginning of the week. So let's get right into the euro and US dollar. Let's see what this pair has been doing. As we talked about the last week, it has been stuck in a flat range below here. Then we got this V reversal right here, and we expected this range in this area because of the V. And now we have continued up, which is exactly what we were expecting. We were expecting a V reversal, a range, and then for the price to continue up. That is a really high probability pattern. And usually with this pattern, we start a nice trend up. So currently I am waiting to see what will happen. We had this impulse to the upside, but it did end with triple wicks on the top, which is a big warning sign, and usually after these wicks we need to see a larger range. So currently a flag is forming. This would be the entry flag candle, and it is now spread hours. So spread hours are from 9 to 11 p.m. London time. It is now 9:30. So a flag is now forming, which I will not be taking because I'm not seeing a range here, and of course it is spread hours. For me to take a flag at this point, I will need to see a larger range, a larger flat range, and then an entry right here. So this just does not fit my plan currently. I am waiting for perhaps, so if we get a descending to the entry area, which is this level right here, I probably won't be taking it because then it would kind of go back and maybe possibly start ranging in this area. So I am waiting for maybe a break to the upside and then a break and retest trade. Or the best thing would be is that we get a nice push and then a flag or a break and retest further up to more confirm this uptrend, because it is a nice push up, but then again the price action is not looking that clean. So I'd like to see it push up, give us a nice impulse to the upside. That's kind of what I'm looking for on EU. So either we can get an ascending and then reverse down and then look to sell. That is also a possibility. Those are kind of the two possibilities. Either we continue, then you look for a continuation trade, or we start to ascend, then you look for a reversal and the trend to the downside, like this. So let's switch over to the euro and the Japanese yen. For this one, I am in a long trade from this level right here with a 13 pip stop. So we can go over this trade. Let me just move my lines a bit right here. Okay, so let's use the replay function at this point. What I was seeing first this ascending, which on the euro pairs can often lead to a push up. That is a really common setup where we get an ascending and then we continue to the upside. And we did actually get a continuation to the upside. Then we got a really nice impulse with some really nice momentum. It did end with a large wick, but then we got just this one candle pullback with an inside bar. It ended up being a bullish candle, so this is kind of the greatest pullback you can get, the most high probability pullback that the price will continue. Price did continue. We got, I would say, a nice push. So if I measure it, it's around 6.2 pips, which for me, for this particular setup, so price action was textbook for me. We had an ascending, a big push up, one candle bullish pullback. We continued a really small wick on the top. So for me, this did fit my plan. It is Monday. That's kind of the only thing that could maybe stop you from taking a setup. But if the setup is a textbook and really high probability like this one is for me personally, then I'm also taking a trade on a Monday or on a Tuesday. So I was happy to place an order on the inside bar, got tagged in, and it is now moving in some profit. So let's see if I'm able to reduce maybe some risk. Let's measure it, because we had this counter trend move and then we did continue up. For now, I can reduce a bit of risk, but not anything drastic. But for now, I'm just waiting for the spread hours to finish. Then we will see how the price will look like. We will see how we will need to adjust the stop loss, or if we will be taken out. So yeah, currently I'm in this, waiting to see how the story develops, waiting to maybe scale in if we get an opportunity for a scale in, a nice break and retest, or a nice flag to the upside. Looking to see if maybe we start to ascend, then you look for a reversal like this. I do like this momentum prior, so let's see if we can scale in into this position. Or again, it can just take me out for a loss, and then I will be just expecting a larger range, to be honest, if this goes counter trend, because then we will have sort of an ascending going into a descending, signaling more range-bound price action. Moving on to the Aussie pairs, Aussie and US dollar is still between the low and the high. So for me personally, I'm just waiting for the break of the lower high. I am expecting a larger range in this general area, like this, expecting that larger range. Of course, we do have liquidity areas below and above the range. As always, we need to see how the price reacts in those areas. Do we just break and retrace, or do we actually break and get some nice conviction, get a nice uptrend? Then we can look for a trade. Definitely, currently, as I said, this is heavily range bound, just stuck in this flat range. So let's see it move away to the upside or to the downside. For the Aussie and the Japanese yen, this one actually moved up. We had this was an impulse up, but look at these bearish candles. They kind of signaled the slowdown. And then we kind of started to break and retrace, but we did continue with a nice push. Unfortunately, we ended with double wicks. So I am looking for a flag here, but I will need to see a nice flat range and then a flag because of the double wicks. As I said, when we see double wicks, we expect a range. If we don't get a range, we don't take a trade. If we do get a nice clean flat range with no momentum shift, we are taking the trade. Our price action is not looking that good for this pair. It's kind of all over the place, really messy. So let's see if maybe we get a break and retest opportunity right here. Or if we get more of a push up and then a nice flag, maybe a break and retest further up. Or if we start to ascend, then look for a reversal like this. Just remember, reversals don't really tend to work out on the Aussie Japanese yen. Not sure why, but according to my backtesting, they just don't work out. That is a pair characteristic. So let's see if this momentum to the upside will continue, so we can get in on some long setups. Then GU, so the pound, which prior to this push up, we had this range, we had this an ascending going into descending, going into another ascending, and we had just this one impulse to the upside. So definitely does not fit my plan, definitely is not enough for me to look for any longs. What I'm waiting for is, well, I'm waiting for the break of the high or the low, and I'm waiting for just one sort of a setup, especially on the Monday and a Tuesday, and that is a large impulse and then a break and retest to the upside, or a large impulse and then a break and retest to the downside like this. So let's see if we get that sort of a setup. That's kind of the only thing I'm looking for, and currently I see no indication, I see no evidence of that setup forming. So then we have the New Zealand and the Japanese yen, which there was an entry actually really early Monday morning. So right about here. Yeah, so this was the entry setup. As I said, on a Monday morning, I'm waiting for 8 AM. I'm waiting for the London Open. Only then I'm starting to trade. So this wasn't even on my radar. I was not looking at it. But for some people, maybe they saw this descending and then they saw this opportunity, a small push up and then a continuation. If I was trading this, I would still not take it. Maybe if it was Thursday or Friday, but I'm really not sure. I'm really on the fence because of this trade. What we do know about this pair is that it does move. It does move from a channel into a channel, so that is a common pair characteristic. So it does move from a channel to a channel, and we have a descending channel going into an ascending channel. We have sort of a nice close So you could maybe get on this break and retest, but I just don't think this was a high probability setup. To be honest, it did work out. It is now doing some massive percentage, so definitely looking good. And now we have this push up. We have double wicks on the top. We have also a bit of a slowdown in momentum right here. Those are all warning signs. So the slowdown, the double wicks. If we do get maybe a larger range, I will look for a flag, but I'm not really seeing it. I would consider taking a flag if it's a really like clean, nice flat range, but the best thing would be a break and retest. Or another good thing would be a further push up, a flag, or a break and retest further up. Definitely on my radar. If we do start to ascend, then do look for a reversal and look for a trend to the downside, definitely. So yeah, this can also give us a V reversal, as can all of the pairs, which I kind of forgot to forecast, but this can give a V reversal, range push down, then look for a short. The best bet currently, since it is Monday, is to wait for this to continue, or we're coming into Tuesday, is for this to continue up and for us to get in on a nice uptrend and look to buy. So that is it for the forecast. See you guys tomorrow and have a nice trading week. So yeah, that's it. See you.